So good evening, guys, and we welcome everybody to our. I think this is the third session of our training. Um, and in this session, we are going to be looking at transferring files from uh, our main computer to our virtual computer. We are going to be transferring files from our main computer to our virtual computer. That's what we are going to be doing today. Uh, we saw how to create a Linux machine. We saw how to create a Windows machine. So this time around, we are going to be transferring files. You might ask, why do we need to know how to transfer files? Definitely, we need to know how to transfer files because technically there is a lot of development that is going to be done externally on your own personal laptop. Let's take, for example, you have your personal laptop here. You have your personal laptop here as this. Now you have created your normal cloud laptop, cloud instance. You have created a cloud instance there. Obviously, you would like to send information from here to there. That is what we are doing actually. All right, send information from your physical laptop to your cloud laptop. All right. But before we go detailed into what we are going to do right now, let us take a cap of what we did in our very first lesson. We talked about platform as a service. How is Amazon a platform as a service? We define all that one. Guys, these are words that you should be capable of defining. These are words that you should be very familiar with them, because when they talk about platform as a service, you should be able to understand it. I think I explained it very well. What is platform as a service? And then when they talk about infrastructure as a service, what is actually infrastructure as a service? And then what is software as a service? There are three of them. There is PaaS, and there is IaaS, and then there is SaaS. So, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and software as a service. These are categories of services offered by Amazon. Now, Amazon resources are under, we have compute. Their resources are either compute, we have network, and we have storage. So you can either hear Amazon resources, they tell you about compute. Compute will simply talk about, you see things like EC2 instances, you see things like CPUs, Fargate, and all the like. Those are all compute resources. Then when they talk about networking, you hear things like load balancers, you hear things like routers, gateways, and all the like. Then we talk about storage, you hear things like block storage, S3, and the rest. So these are the services of which Amazon offers their services. Those the resources which Amazon offers as their services. Okay. So whatever thing we are going to be talking about, ask your question. Mark these six different categorization. Is it a platform as a service? Is it a compute? Is it a network, or is it a storage? Is it an infrastructure as a service? Is it a compute? Is it a network, or is it a storage? Is it a software as a service? Is it a compute? Is it a network, or is it a storage? So we are beginning our very first resource. The resource that we began with is EC2. We began with an EC2 instance. So EC2, let's take EC2. Is EC2 a platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or software as a service? Who can answer me this question? Is EC2 platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or software as a service? Who is capable of answering that question? The EC2 instance, which one is it? Platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or software as a service? Who has an idea? Even those in TikTok, please, you can answer in the comment section. Now, if most of you are remaining quiet, then uh, you must not have understood what is platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or software as a service. Somebody says platform as a service. Who agrees with that? EC2 is a platform as a service. Who agrees with that? Yes, you can talk. Good. EC2 is actually infrastructure as a service. Okay. EC2 is actually infrastructure as a service. Um, I needed to give administrative privileges to you, Kiba, to be accepting these guys who are coming. I don't know how to do that. We'll do that next time. Okay. So EC2 is infrastructure as a service, but what makes it infrastructure as a service actually? What do we know that this is infrastructure as a service, this is platform as a service, or this is software as a service? Let's take a look at this. Now, look guys, we have an EC2 instance. What is an EC2 instance? An EC2 instance is a computer. All right, it is a computer. All right, what is a computer? A computer is an infrastructure. All right, a computer is already an infrastructure. It is a setup which things are found inside. Software is found inside, hardware is found inside. Okay, network is found inside the computer, so it is an infrastructure. So we are talking about an EC2. This is an EC2. It is an infrastructure. Okay. So when we talk about infrastructure, we are talking about something physical. Something physical. You can touch it. That is an infrastructure. All right. So EC2 is actually an infrastructure. Now, when we talk about things like Fargate, you might not know Fargate right now. Fargate is not an infrastructure because it is what we call serverless. You come to understand what is serverless as we go ahead. So Fargate is a platform that has been built for you to just run your whatsoever, your applications, your containers, or whatever you are building. So you understand what we mean by platform. That means a platform is already built for you. Now consider something. Consider something. Let's take for example, there is a service in AWS that we call Lambda. Okay, there's a service in AWS we call Lambda. Yeah, that is a service. What is Lambda? Now, before, if you want to run a code, if you are interested in running a code in AWS, okay, what you will do is you have to build an EC2 instance, and then inside that instance, you are going to run a code. Okay, that is the normal way. So this, you first of all has to provide the infrastructure. When you provide the infrastructure, then now you run the code inside the infrastructure. That's why they call EC2 as infrastructure as a service. Now, Lambda comes and changes things. With Lambda, if you have a code to run, you don't need to build an infrastructure. You just take your code as raw as your code is, and then you run it through Lambda, and then the code will get executed. You don't need a computer in order to run your code. You need just the service Lambda in order to run your code. So Lambda in that sense is called platform. So Lambda is a platform that is being given to you to execute your code. So I don't know if I'm trying to bring out the idea between platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Okay, a platform is given to you to run your code, and then an infrastructure is given to you to build what you want. Okay, and then software as a service, these are just applications that AWS has built, that you use the applications in your infrastructure or in your environment. Softwares like you can have software some sort of cyber security softwares, security softwares like security groups, and all these are just minor software that are found in the AWS cloud and they are being leveraged. So these are services that are being leveraged. Okay, that's what we call infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service. So when we are taking EC2, EC2 is infrastructure as a service. Is it a compute network or storage? Who can answer me that question? Is EC2 a compute network or storage? Yes, unmute. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay, that is very intelligent. EC2 is both a compute and a storage. And he says we can store data and we can share data. Your answer is right, but your explanation is cloudy. The reason why I say your answer is right is because EC2 has a storage device, which is a block storage. Like in your normal computer, you have a hard drive, right? And EC2 instance also has a hard drive, which makes it a storage device. Okay. But at the same time, an EC2 also has a CPU, which makes it a compute device. So EC2 is both a storage and a compute device. And for networking, it also has a network interface card. So EC2 is a holistic compute, network, and storage. Okay, because it has a network device that enables it to connect it with other resources. So EC2 is both compute, network, and storage. Okay, so that was a recap of what we did in our last class. All right. So now our idea is transferring files from our present physical computer to our virtual EC2. We are going to create two EC2s. One is going to be a Linux EC2. The other is going to be a Windows EC2. So let's go to our terminal. So as I'm going, please, any question you feel like you are doubting, just ask. Stop me and ask. Don't allow it that I will watch the video after. Just stop there and ask immediately. Okay. So let's begin. In order to create an instance, you click on launch instance. For those of you on TikTok, I hope I tried to put it on landscape, but it was disturbing me to go on live. So I bet if you are on TikTok, please join our WhatsApp group because the video is going to be forwarded to our WhatsApp group. Okay, so you go on launch instance and then you give the name of your server. Let me give tick server. Let me first of all create the Windows own for Windows. So I am going to choose my Amazon machine image. As I said, if you are asked how is operating system called in the cloud, in the AWS cloud, it is called an AMI, Amazon machine image. That is the name of, that is how we refer to a operating system in the cloud. Okay, I choose Windows. When you choose Windows, the image is loaded by default. Okay, now we go down. We choose instant type. We have referred to instant type as both the capacity of the RAM and the capacity of the CPU. Okay, that is inside instant type. Why is I am using a lot of resources at the same time? Okay, instant type. For Windows, you will see T3 micro here. Okay, so we go down. We select our key pair. There is no need of creating so many key pairs, guys. We had already created our key pairs, so we use the key pair that we created. So we use the tick key pair. We move down, and there is no need of creating multiple security groups. We already have a security group that we created, so we click on existing, select existing security group, and then we drop down and we take we created the security group for Linux, for Windows, which was tick security group. That is it. And then 30 GB is okay. We are fine. We can launch our instance. It's as that simple. Okay. It's as simple as that. Now our instance is ready. Let's go create the Linux machine. We follow the same procedure and we create the Linux machine. While our Windows machine is creating, we launch the Linux machine. Now we give it the name. I'll give it Linux server, just like that. And then I'll take Ubuntu. As I said, the reason why I am taking Ubuntu is because it is the widely most used Linux flavor in the industry. And for key pair, see, when it comes to Linux, you start seeing things like T2 Micro, which are there. And then key pair, you choose your key pair, you choose the same key pair that is available there. And then you come down to select existing security group. It is on create security group. You'll come down to select existing group. Um, we have for Linux, our configuration is okay, 8 GB. We can launch. All right, we have created both the Linux and the Windows machine. If I refresh, both are already running. Okay, first thing to do is you make sure that the Windows machine makes 4 minutes before its password can be generated. The Windows machine must make 4 minutes before its password can be generated. It's a common interview question. How many minutes do you need to wait in order to generate the password of a Linux machine? It's a normal interview question, so it is 4 minutes. Okay, mark this, please write it somewhere. You need 4 minutes to wait. If you try generating it when it is not yet up to 4 minutes, it is not going to generate. Okay, you might be thinking that you are making an error, which is not true. Okay, so let's start with the Windows to see how to transfer files. We just log in and then we'll copy and paste. It's as that simple. Okay, so let's log in using the Windows machine. We click on connect and then use RDP client. As somebody just said, using different methodologies to connect to their servers. You can use any of them. Okay, you can use any system to connect to your servers. Okay, download remote desktop file. I download it, I conserve it, and then I open it. When I open it, connection, they'll ask me for a password. They ask me for a password. Where can I get the password? Here it is. Get the password. I click on get the password here. Then I need to upload my key pair here. If I don't upload this key pair, I'm not capable of getting the password. So I need to upload the key pair. So upload private key. The key is there. You see, it is PEM here because it is Windows. If it is not Windows, you will need to convert this PEM into PPK, as I keep saying. Normal interview question. Do you use the PEM key for Linux or the PPK key for Linux? So you use the PEM key for Linux, the PPK key for Linux and the PEM key for Windows. Okay. We open, the key is loaded here, and then you decrypt it. When you decrypt it, the password appears up here. Okay, as the password appears, you copy the password, and then now you come to your remote desktop and you paste it there. Okay, and you press OK. You are definitely logged in. Okay, The system is booting up. So your machine is ready, finalizing its boot processes. Okay. Now, guys, the Windows operating system is mostly used in the industry for databases. When it is for web servers and the rest, it is mostly the Linux machine. But when you mostly see the Windows machine, you will see it most often with databases. Okay. So if you are mostly creating a web server, it should be a Linux machine. If you are creating a database, it should be you should create it with a Windows machine. Okay. Our system is fully booted up, and we can click on files here, and our files will show up like normal. Okay. We can, in order to transfer files from your local machine to your virtual machine, is a simple copy and paste. Copy and paste. Okay, you simply just copy any file and you paste there. Let us look at files that we can copy and paste there. Let's open to this. We can minimize this. So if I want to pull this my if I want to pull this my key pair to the virtual machine, I just pull from here. I just copy, right click, copy, and I paste inside here. I right click, paste. You can paste, you can create a folder and paste. You can, like anything. You see, this is a key, it appears here. Okay, you just right click, copy, and you right click, you paste. Drag and drop does not work. Right click, copy, and paste. You can transfer huge amount of files just by copying them and pasting. It has no problem because it is Windows to Windows. There is no issue. The complication comes when it is Windows to Linux. Right up to this level, is there any complication, please? Is there anybody who is not understanding what we are trying to do? Is there anybody who is lost? Is there anybody who is lost? Yes, please unmute. There's somebody who is lost in Google Meet. I heard a sound. Is there anybody who is lost, please? You unmute and you ask a question. Yeah. Okay. Then now I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll upload all the lectures that we have had so far. The problem is the first two lectures we are in portrait, not in landscape. They were in portrait, so the characters are a bit small because I recorded it directly from TikTok. So the characters are a bit small. It is now that I'm using the professional recording appliance to do the recording. Okay, so but this particular lesson, it will come the way you are seeing it right now. So you find it just the way you are seeing it right now. Okay, yeah. So you have the lessons, don't worry. All right. For we move over to Linux. For Linux, the situation is a bit tricky. We are going to use WinSCP. The application is called winscp. Okay, I don't know whether there's a Z there. So let us open the application. There's no Z there. I think I'll send you the link to this application. You just open this link and then you download the application. I already downloaded and installed it. You download the application. It's just a 12 megabyte application. You download the application and then you install. When you install, it's just direct installation. If you have ever installed even a VLC, then you can install WinSCP. Okay, if you have ever installed VLC, you can do that. So when after installation, you just come to your search button and you type WinSCP. You get the application. Here it is. When you open it, here is the way it is. Here is how it opens up. Okay, now WinSCP needs a number of things. It needs you to put the name of the host. The port is already there, the username, and then the password. We do not yet have the password. We do not have the password because we did not create a password, but we do have the ppk file. Okay, we do have the ppk file, so we are going to use the ppk here, and then we are going to use ubuntu here, and then for the name of the host we are going to use its public IP. Okay, so we need the public IP, the name for the machine, which is ubuntu, and the key to log in through WinSCP. So what WinSCP does is WinSCP will just simply link the two machines together. What WinSCP will do is when you open WinSCP, you have your physical machine, and then you have your cloud machine, and then you are having WinSCP like this. You get WinSCP will link your physical machine to your cloud machine. So you can just move from your physical machine to your cloud machine. Move from physical machine to a cloud machine. So that's what we are having here. When you look at the left is your physical machine and the right is your cloud machine. So we have to put in our credentials in order to link that up. So the first thing we'll do is we go take the public IP. Where do we get the public IP? We go to the terminal, go to instances, and then we are working this time with the Linux instance. This is the Linux server, and then you go to you come down here, details. You see there is something called details down here. Under details, under the onglet details, you see public IPv4 address. You copy this IPv4 address. When you copy it, you come to your WinSCP, you paste it there, and then the name of the computer is Ubuntu in lower cases, please. And then the password, you go to advanced, and then you come to authentication. You click on these three dots that are down here, and then you will see, you choose your file where you have stored your key. Okay, mine is in the AWS keys, and then I take my ppk. If you have not yet converted your key to ppk, you make sure you do that, because you are going to see your key in pem, so you need to convert it to ppk. I showed it in our first video. You'll see the video. You open that, and then you click OK. Connection, accept, and then you are in. So the left hand side is your physical machine, the right hand side is your virtual machine. So what you can do is, if I want these two files to be transferred to my virtual machine, I'll just take them like that, drag, drop, they copy, I drag, drop, they are copied. Okay, I can even go to different folders if I want. Okay, you can go to different folders if you like. This is a setup here. You can open different folders. You can come out from your folder, go right up to where you see you change your disk. Uh, this one is a booting device. Okay, here you can change your disk and pick your disk D. I mean, you can navigate to wherever you want, wherever you have stored anything. I can go to videos, I can go to wherever, and then I open it. I transfer information from here. I just drag and drop. I mean, drag and drop. This is a hidden file. Okay, so it will not be shown here because it is starting with a dot. Okay, so this is how you transfer information from your normal physical machine to your virtual machine. When you finish, we have to be sure that this information is here. Okay, look at here is the directory where it is found in home/ubuntu. Okay, so it is found in home/ubuntu. So we have to be sure that if we go to home/ubuntu, we are going to find these two files here. That is a proof that what we have done have actually succeeded, because if we don't see those files there, then we have not succeeded in anything. So let's open and log into our system. In order to log into our system, you open the folder where your key is found. My key is found in this folder. Here is a key. I right click there. I open git bash there. And then I copy the connection link. Here is Linux connect. I have a connection link that should be with SSH. Here is the connection link here. I copy the connection link. I come back to my git bash. Let me pull it, zoom it for you guys. Come out to my git bash. I paste there and I go in. Yes. Okay. Now I might like to say ls here, and I will see my two files that I have copied. They are there. Okay, my two files are there. So the files I copied from my physical machine to my Windows machine to my virtual machine, they are available there. So you are the one to decide which environment you want to copy your files to. So the target for this lesson for today was for you to copy files from your normal physical machine to your virtual machine. I hope this was well explained and I hope everybody understood it. Is there somebody who has not understood for Linux, exactly for Linux, how this is being done? Yes, please. I heard somebody talk in Meet. Yes, you unmute and you talk, please. hmm hmm For you to share files and view them, except you want another. e- e- Except you are talking of a different type of view, because here is a file you are viewing them, or you are talking of some sort of a Windows type of a thing, a dashboard that is presented so that you can see the file with a an icon, something like that. Is that what you're talking about? That that is why we. That is why we call this Linux and we call the other one Windows. Yes, this one is Linux, and it is very, very lightweighted, okay, because it deals only with very, very minute files. It's very lightweighted. It does not have uh, graphics like Windows, okay. With Linux, it's all about the terminal. When you are talking about Linux, you always be seeing this black thing here, okay, and you'll just be walking behind this black thing. So you get ready to start walking behind this black thing here. Yes, somebody's hand is up. Yes, please. Ah, okay. It's an indication. All right. So I hope all of us all do understand how to share these files. Please, I will- I will, I will need somebody mute. You can mute, Joyce. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, you want to use WinSCP. Okay, let's launch WinSCP. Let's launch WinSCP. It comes on. Okay, now this is what we have, right? When it comes on, the first thing we do is we go to the terminal and copy our password, our public IP. You've copied your public IP. That's the first thing we do. We go to the terminal. This is the public IP of the Linux machine. We copy it, and then we come to our WinSCP. We paste it there. The host is there. Then the name of the user is Ubuntu in lower cases. Then for the password, you click advanced under here. When you click advanced under there, you come to authentication. And then when you click on authentication, you have these three dots at the end here, at the far end. Now you click on those dots and then you navigate to where you stored your key. Have you already converted your key to PPK? Not yet. Not yet. Now, in order to convert your key, in order for you to do that, you need puttigen, right? Yes, you need puttigen. This is puttigen here. Here is puttigen. Okay. Yeah. You need puttigen. I think I can send puttigen via WhatsApp. I believe, I don't know. Let me see if I can do that. I sent a link, right? I sent a link on how you can get it. Okay, great. You can go. So you just copy, take that puttigen and you open. Okay. When you open puttigen, all what you need to do is launch it. It is you don't need there is no installation with puttigen. You just launch it like that, right? And then you go to load. When you go to load, and then you will see you change from here, because when you go to load, you will be seeing only PPK, right? You come to these files down here, you change it to all files. When you change it to all files, then you will see your PEM key. Then you click on your PEM key and then you press open. When you press open, the next thing is you save private key. When you save private key, as I said, it is best practice to just name the key the same name like you name your PEM key. So, but be careful when I start doing like I say tick, you see it comes out like this. When I take it like this, if I allow it like this, it will be tick key dot pem dot pem again. Okay, so you wipe the dot pem and then you register it. Okay, when you do that, you must have converted your key. If you can go through that process like that, then you must have converted your key. Then when you go now with winscp, you will see your key there. So that will work if you actually follow the steps correctly. So it's a good practice to try, but please to be following up. But please, as I said, with the idea of the videos that are going to come after, try and stay glued to what I am doing, and instead jot down notes. Okay, the best way to follow the lessons is once I am practicing, stay glued to it, jot down notes because I'm going to say a lot of things. Jot down notes and maybe ask question because this is the opportunity for you to ask a question. Now, when you will be watching the videos, you alone might be you might not understand certain things, and you need to wait 1 week or day for Saturday before you are able to ask your question. So, as the lessons are going on, stay glued with your pen, and then you ask your questions. Okay, that will be okay for you, good for you. All right. Our lessons are over. I think for me not to make the recording to be long, let me stop the recording.